Let's start our today's topic. First of all, welcome you all in today's lecture video. The today's topic of my lecture is over the landmarks in the evolution of Indian population policy. Earlier we discussed about population policy. What is the meaning of population policy? And in India, how many population policies we have adopted, and what are the salient features of these two population policies which are adopted by India after independence. The first one was Indian Population Policy 1976, and the second one was New Population Policy 2000. So, uh, instead of all these concepts regarding population policy, India's first population policy 1976 and new population policy 2000, now we discuss about the landmarks in the evolution of Indian population policy. As we earlier discussed, the meaning of policy is can be defined as a statement of important goals accompanied by a specified set of means to achieve them. Uh, First of all, in 1940, the Subcommittee on Population appointed by the National Planning Committee set up the length of the Indian National Congress. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the president of that Indian National Congress, considered family planning and limitations of children essential for the interest of social economy, family happiness, and national planning. The committee recommended the establishment of birth control clinics and other necessary measures such as raising the age at marriage and a eugenic sterilization program. In 1946, the Health Survey and the Department Committee, Bohr Committee, reported that the control of diseases and famine and improvement of health could cause a serious problem of population growth. It considered deliberate limitations of birth desirable. In 1951, the draft outline of the first 5-year plan recognized population policy as an essential to planning and family planning as a step towards improvement in health of mother and children. In 1952, the final first 5-year plan document noted the urgency of the problem of family planning and population control and advocated a reduction in the birth rate to stabilize population at a level uh, constituent with the needs of the economy. India became first developing country of the world to launch a government policy of promoting a family planning program in 1952. Later on, it was renamed as Family Welfare Program in 1982. In 1956, the second 5-year plan proposed expansion of family planning clinics in both rural and urban areas and recommended a more or less autonomous central family planning board with similar state level boards. A large number of knowledge, attitude, and practice. The short form for this knowledge, attitude, and practice is KAP. Surveys were conducted in the first two plan periods to help the planner to gather data on knowledge of family planning method, attitude towards them, and practices. In 1959, the government of Madras, Tamil Nadu, began to pay small cash grants to poor person undergoing sterilization as compensation for lost earning and transport costs, and also to canvassers and to tutors in family planning. In 1961, the third 5-year plan investigated the provisions of sterilization facility in district hospitals, subdivisional hospital, and primary health centers, As a part of the family planning program, Maharashtra state organized sterilization camps in rural areas. In 1963, the director of family planning proposed a shift from the clinic approach to a community extension approach to be implemented by auxiliary nurse midwives, one per 10,000 population located in PHC. Other proposal includes a goal of lowering the birth rate from an estimated 40 to 25 by 1973, a cafeteria approach to the provision of contraceptive method with an emphasis on free choice. In 1965, intrauterine contraceptive device IUCD was introduced in the Indian Family Planning Program, which produced good results initially, but gradually the number of acceptors of IUCD started declining. Bleeding and rumors were the main reason behind its failure. In 1966, a full-fledged department of family planning was set up in the Ministry of Health. Condoms began to be distributed through the established channels of leading distributor of consumer goods. In 1972, a liberal law permitting abortions on ground of health and humanitarian and eugenic consideration came into force. In 1974, mass vasectomy male operation camps were organized in different parts of the country, and the incentive schemes whereby the couple were given incentive in cash for adopting sterilization. A large number of males were sterilized in them, very successful and repeated, repeated in many states of the country. In 1976, Dr. Karan Singh proposed first national population policy statement. He said that there is a close relationship between population and poverty. The statement on national population policy made in the parliament by the ministers for health and family planning assigned top national priority and commitment to the population problem to bring about a sharp drop in fertility. The constitution was amended to freeze the representation of different states in the lower houses of parliament according to the size of the population in 1971 census. The states were permitted to enact legislation providing for compulsory sterilization. In 1977, at the stage two phenomena were marked. The family planning program degenerated into sterilization program. Second, population control became a political problem. A revised population policy statement was tabled in parliament by a government formed by the former opposition parties. It emphasized the voluntary nature of the family planning program. The term family welfare replaced family planning. After this, a cafeterian approach was adopted to provide a range of effective and approved family planning methods, that is, condom, diaphragm, jelly, cream, foam tablets for newly married couples, IUCD, and sterilization for couples. By 1980, the term cafeteria approach became a buzzword in the family planning program, and the influence of this approach continued. In 1982, the draft 6 5-year plan adopted a long term goal of attaining a net reproduction rate of 1 on the average by 1996 and in all states by 2001. It adopted the target for crude birth and crude death, infant mortality rate, and life expectancy at birth and the couple protection rate to be achieved by 2001. The number were based on the illustrative exercises of a working group on population policy set up by the Planning Commission during 1978. In 1983, the National Health Policy incorporated the targets included in the 6 5-year plan document While adopting the health policy, the Parliament emphasized the need for a separate national population policy. In 1993, a Committee on Population, set up by the National Development Councils in 1991, in the wake of the census result, proposed the formulation of a national population policy. In 1994, the expert group set up by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in 1993 to draft the national population policy recommended the goal of a replacement level of fertility, a total fertility rate of 2.1% by 2010. Other proposal of the expert group included removal of method specific target down to the grassroots level. Second, emphasis on improving the quality of services. Third, a removal of all initiative in cash or kind. Fourth, a national commission on population and social development under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister. The draft statement was circulated among the members of the parliament and various ministers at the central and among the states for comment. In 1977, in 1997, the cabinet headed by the Prime Minister I.K. Gujral approved a draft national population policy to be placed before the Parliament. With the dissolution of lower house of Parliament, the action was postponed. In 1999, another draft of national population policy placed before the cabinet was remitted to a group of ministers headed by the deputy chairman of the planning commission to examine the scope for the in, inclusion of intensives and disintensives for its implementation. The government groups of ministers consulted various academic experts and the women representative and finished a draft which was discussed by the cabinet on 19th November 1999 and which was revised further for resubmission. In 2000, the National Population Policy, a new population policy was adopted by the cabinet and announced on February 2000. So this is all about our population policies regarding the landmarks in the evolution of population policy. So coming up next in this video is about the population density. We will discuss now we will discuss over the topic of population density. Normally, as we know that the density can be defined as we can say the number of people living in a particular area. Density of the population can be described as the ratio of total number of the people living in the total area. The density of the population represents the population pressure over the land. So density equal to total population divided by total area. There are various kinds of population density. The first one is the arithmetic density. The second one is the physiological density. Third one is the agriculture density. Fourth one is the economic density. Fifth one is the nutrition density. Arithmetic density. Arithmetic density can be defined as the ratio between total population and total area. In reality, arithmetic population means simple man-land ratio. We take area in square kilometer and square miles. World population density is about 640, or this we can divide as according to 2004 data, or we can say 13.648. When we divide this 640 divided by 13.6, this will equal to 48 person per square kilometer. So with this method of calculating population density, we can easily calculate the density of the population for world, and the total population of the world is 640 and the area is 13.6. When we divide 640 by 13.6, we will get 48% per square kilometer. In Asia, this density is 122, Europe 32, Africa 29, North America 16, South America 20, Australia 0, only 3. In case of Asia, Bangladesh is having maximum density which is near about 1090, then Korea 489, then Japan 351, India 325, Sri Lanka 300, Pakistan 202, China 140. In India, this population density is about 382, Bihar 1102, West Bengal 1029, Kerala 859, Mizoram 52, Arunachal Pradesh 17. And Bihar comes at first place in 2011 as compared to West Bengal, which came at first place in 2001. Now West Bengal came at second place. Physiological density, this type of density calculation is more used because in this calculation we use total agriculture land instead of total land area. This type of density shows that in any region in unit area of agriculture how much people are living. We excluded that area which is not fit for human settlement and which results very accurate physiological density. Physiological density equal to total population of any area divided by my total cultivated land of any region. In 2011, total population of India was 12102 lakh and the total agriculture land is 15.62 lakh square kilometer. It means 12102 divided by 15.62 is equal to 775 persons per square kilometer, whereas India's arithmetic density was 382 persons per square kilometer. Physiological density of any area is always greater than arithmetic density. This type of density calculation has some drawbacks, like we consider that the human beings of any area are engaged in agriculture activities. This type of a density calculation is suitable for only those nations which have more agriculture activities and not for those nations which have strong secondary, tertiary, quaternary activities. Agriculture density, it is modified type of physiological density because in this we take population which is agriculture based, not the total population. Agriculture density is equal to people engaged in agriculture divided by my total cultivated land. Any nation which has large area land have less agriculture density, and same like that where we have less people engaged in agriculture have less agriculture density. For example, in 2011 total agriculture base population was 2630 lakh and the total cultivated land was 15.62 square kilometer. So agriculture density was 2630 divided by 15.62, this will equal to 168 persons per square kilometer. This agriculture population does include pasturing and gardening. Nation like India, Pakistan and Bangladesh have high agriculture density. Next density is economic density. Economic density is equal to total population of any nation divided by value of all resources of any nation in one unit. Those nations who have less dependent on agriculture sector, when more people are engaged in manufacturing industries, trade, transportation and various services and earn their income from service sector. For those nations, population density can't be shown by physiological density and agriculture density. For such kind of nation, economic density is important. Simon calculated economic density by population index and production index. Economic density according to Simon is equal to population index divided by production index multiplied by 100. Yet it is very difficult to calculate the whole resources of the world because it is a tedious and tough job. That's why in western countries this type of calculation is not in use yet, and it is more suitable accurate method to calculate the density of the population. Because of the technological development and various economic policies, the number of resources changes time to time, which makes the evaluation and calculation of resources of any area more difficult. Next density is the nutritional density. Nutrition density shows the ratio between the total population of any area and its total grain capacity. This density is based upon the assumption that the human being get their nutrition in the form of food grain. Those nations where agriculture sector is prominent and where there are many crops, naturally their nutrition density is high. For example, Thailand, North Vietnam, Cambodia and Myanmar, near about 70% of the land is engaged in rice production and which feeds 90% population of those countries. On the other hand, nutrition density is less for those nations whose population is dependent on imported food, fruits, milks and meats, whereas there is a good grain comes at secondary place. Nutritional density is equal to total population of any area divided by my total fruit grain land, or we can say the area of main food grain. What distribution of the density of the population? Distribution and density of the population is almost same in the world because there where there is a population distribution is high, the density is also high, and where it is less, the density is also less. For example, high density area: South, Southeast Asia, Northwest Europe, Northeast North America, where we have 100% per square kilometer. Moderate density areas: areas near to high density region have moderate density population which varies from 51 to 100. Low density area: 10 to 50 persons per square kilometer. South America, East Africa, West USA, Australia, Murray-Darling Basin and New Zealand. Fourth is very low density area. Two-third land of the world comes under this category: North Canada, Greenland, North Eurasia, whole Antarctica are the deserts of the world. Congo, Zaire and Amazon basin are also the example of very low density areas. Highest density nations where we have a density more than 100 or 100: Bangladesh 1101, South Korea 507, Netherlands 406, India 349, Belgium 365, Japan 336, Sri Lanka 315, Vietnam 273 and UK 266. Moderate density nation, in this category the density varies from 51 to 100: Turkey 99, Spain 92, Malaysia 91, Egypt 88, Romania 84, Greece 83, Ukraine 75, Kenya 74. Next one is the low density nation. Very low density nation, in this category we include 11 to 50 persons per square kilometer: Cameroon 48, Iran 47, Belarus 46, South Africa 44, Madagascar 38, USA 33, Sudan 21, Angola 18, Finland 16. And very less population density regions may we have Chad, where we have density is only 10, Bolivia 9, Russia 8, Kazakhstan 6, Canada 4, Australia 3. So this in this diagram you can easily see where we have very less population density and where we have the maximum population density. In this region of South Asia and Southeast Asian nation, we have density ratio which lies less than 100. UK, the eastern part of the Europe, and we also have the western part of the America. eastern part of the America. The density, which varies from 1 to 10, we normally see it here in the Canadian region, in the area of Greenland, in Russia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Australia. In these regions, we have density which lies in between 1 to 100, whereas 11 to 15, in between 11 to 15 region, we have our Amazon basin, not normally part of the South America, then the USA, part of USA, then few parts of the Australian countries, then we have this Middle East nation, where we have population density which lies between 11 to 50. In case of India, it is very easily seen by this diagram that here we have maximum population density in the northern plain region, which is formed by the Sindhu river system and the Ganga river system, the West Bengal region, and the Tamil Nadu and Kerala region also. The density which we have from 201 to 500, in this region, most of the India covers these type of density because of the not very much favorable condition of the environment and climate. The 101 to 200 population density normally we have in the region of Jharkhand, in the region of Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh. Then we also have few parts of Northeast India, but major part of the Northeast India covers in between 201 to 500 density. The far eastern part of the Arunachal Pradesh and Tripura and Sikkim lies in the very less density region. So it might be clear you all about this what we can say, uh, the topic of population density. I hope you all understand it very well. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks.